Doug Lane. I'm with CrossFit Amelia Island. I'm here with our special guest, T.J.Cooper from CrossFit East. And we decided to have TJ over today, and he was gracious enough to come and help us out with a couple workouts. But during this interview, I wanted to talk to him a little bit about CrossFit East and CrossFit in general, and just kind of give any of the viewers at home an idea of CrossFit East and CrossFit and its beginnings. So my first question is for TJ, how long have you been doing this? And tell us a little bit about CrossFit East.
Oh, okay, thanks. So CrossFit East started in 2001 when Coach Glassman came to Jacksonville as a part of the attempt to get police corps to train police officers and recruits in a different manner. He gave a 3-day seminar, and we were fortunate enough to be one of the first groups to get in on that level, and seminars started a couple of years after that. So CrossFit East has been around since 2001, and I guess I've been around that long.
So originally, when I got into CrossFit, I know that you were a huge motivation for us on CrossFit Amelia Island, and it seemed like we started off with 3 or 4 boxes in the Jacksonville area. Do you have any idea on how many boxes there are in the Jacksonville area now?
There are over 30. I'd like to say right around 32, with 3 more on board within the next 6 or 7 months. That would be what we consider, what are affiliates. There are other gyms that sort of use the model, but CrossFit itself is around 30, 35.
And you know, that was one of the things that when we joined CrossFit, kind of as a new affiliate, one of the things that I really enjoyed was the family atmosphere, or the family kind of tree that CrossFit East provides, and the leadership that CrossFit East provides. Can you talk a little bit about your vision, like originally with CrossFit East, and how you kind of saw things in the Jacksonville or in the East market?
Yeah, so Coach Glassman had a saying that, you know, the whole concept of CrossFit was functional fitness by way of a family. A family that's functional has diversity. We have abilities that one house might have that another one does not. He always felt like instead of one person saying that they could answer all of the questions, he had resources that he could go to learn it. And he asked me, well, he told me, when we start CrossFit East, the idea is to use the resources in your community. So CrossFit East is exactly that. You, for an example, as an Olympic lifting expert, we would use you. Guys that have a kettlebell knowledge, we would go to them. Programming knowledge. The ability to reach out and touch people in the areas that they do is not something that can be held in one house. You want it to grow. Invite people in, and so that's our concept, a family.
I know that early on in CrossFit we had a lot of charitable events and charitable contributions. I know that was one of Glassman's key points early on, that he wanted boxes, coaches, and affiliates to really look at 501c3s, 3Cs, or look at charity as far as how we could help out. Could you speak to that just a little bit?
Yes. Grassroots movements is how everything grows and continues to grow. When you give back to the people that are willing to give without profit being the main line, the growth happens. So while on the face of like with Reebok and some of the larger corporate sponsors now, some people may have forgotten or have never had the opportunity to experience what CrossFit really was and is to the mainstays, the hardliners, the original CrossFitter guys. We strongly believe in giving back, and you'll see that, the ability to have a benefit. Somebody gets sick in your house and they have to go in the hospital, then we come together and we do what we need to do. So if you can do that on a local level, then you can certainly expand it on a national, but sometimes it can be tricky with the competition growth of it now too. So.
One of the things that I remember Coach Glassman early on in the certification process talking about was the ability to get to know your clients, to get to know your athletes, and to get to know your customers personally. I remember him talking about wanting to be involved with going to a wedding or going to a funeral or participating in a graduation, that close-knit family that you talk about. How do you feel like that has separated CrossFit from the typical, personal trainer experience or the typical Globo Gym type experience?
Well, so the model is twofold. If you're doing a business strictly to support yourself, then you have to ask what components do you need to have people come back to your door. And if you spend more time growing the model, but then you can't show the people you appreciate them coming in to grow your model, they're going to leave. So the original concept of knowing who your clients are, your athletes are. For example, we just got through training the group. They told me they call themselves the Daisies. Well, if you know who they are and you know what they can do, then you know when to grow them to the next level. And if they're just folks that just paid $165 to come in for a month of training, they're going to eventually start looking for somebody with a cheaper price or an easier program or something that they think they're missing from what you have. But if you can see a person as soon as they come in the door and go, wow, you're a little bit sluggish today, well, and maybe they got something going on at home. And you can respect that and go, well, today you need to go through the circuits and sets for a warm-up or just get your head in the game versus pushing for that performance as a competitor. They'll appreciate you and come back. And that's important. You have to do that. You have to do it.
Well, that's awesome. That's T.J.Cooper with CrossFit East, and we're so excited and so blessed to have him here over the course of this day. Thank you all for tuning in.